The feds filed a...
All right, what's up, family? So apparently today, Lil Durk, they got some new evidence on Lil Durk. They're saying he got a new phone after the murder to kind of distance himself from the case or from the murder itself. My theory is, just because you get a new phone, that doesn't necessarily prove or say that, what I'm saying, you trying to do anything different. But the feds are saying that is actually one of the reasons that actually connects him to the case. He did that for a reason. So let's just get into a video and see what happens.
Proceeding indictment in the Lil Durk case. The day this dropped a few weeks ago, I was on a plane going to see my family, so I never got to cover this. Just wait for the overt acts towards the end of the video. It gets pretty wild. Hit subscribe. Let's go.
Sheriff's deputies pulling out a man who had been shot in an SUV. Savannah rapper Quando Rondo, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight. It all started at this mobile gas station at 5:30 Friday evening.
All right, so we got third superseding indictment. Dirk Banks, DeAndre Wilson or DD, David Lindsay or Brown Eyes, Asa Houston or OTF Boogie. Those four and others unknown to the grand jury were members and associates of a criminal organization engaged in murder, robbery, trafficking, and controlled substances. OTF formed in 2010. We know all this. Banks was the leader of Banks Gang Enterprise. Wilson, Houston, Grant, and co-conspirators 2 through 6 were members and associates of the Banks Gang Enterprise, all recruited around the Chicago area. Following the November 2020 killing of King Von, who was a member of the Banks Gang Enterprise and the Black Disciples Gang, and a close friend associate of Defendant Banks and other Enterprise members conspired to murder those whom they perceived responsible, including Quando Rondo. Defendant Banks, Wilson, and co-conspirator 5 recruited the gang members, including defense Lindsey Jones and co-conspirator 2. Banks funded the criminality and violence. Specifically, Banks would cause the purchase of stolen cars, which Enterprise members referred to as sliders or hot cars. To avoid law enforcement detection, members and associates of Banks Gang Enterprise would use sliders and fake license plates to commit violent acts against their opponents. Shootings were often referred as drills or sliding. So this is what Fulio's killers were not smart enough to do. Steal a car that isn't linked to you, which should be common sense.
Yeah, so they basically got a striker. You know what I'm saying? They saying slider, but it's really a striker. Like that's all they got. And they got a stolen car, hot car, and shit. At least they were smart enough to do that, but they wasn't that motherfucker smart.
Commit a murder in a vehicle that is linked to your mama. Banks funded the purchase of controlled substances for distribution, among other places, Chicago and Georgia, by members' associates. To secure the members' associates' affiliates and loyalty, Banks provided the monetary and other assistance. Attempted murder of victim 1 in Atlanta on February 5th, 2019. King Von and co-conspirator 6, which was motivated by a dispute over the purchase of a stolen car. They all confronted victim 1 about a stolen car that victim 1 had sold to co-conspirator 6. Okay, I don't know who conspirator 6 is. It's hard to keep track of who is who.
So who is co-conspirator number 6? Leave that in the comments. I want to know that.
This guy's obviously a friend of Dirk, and he's upset about being sold a stolen car. Co-conspirator 6 demanded a refund. When victim 1 refused to pay, conspirator 6 attempted to rob him. After victim 1 resisted, members of the Bank Gang Enterprise, including defendant Banks and King Von, produced firearms and began shooting at victim 1, striking and wounding victim 1. In October of 2022, Fonnie Willis in Atlanta dismissed these charges against Dirk. The dismissal cited prosecutorial discretion. And this is obviously after King Von had died at this point, so they were just going to charge Dirk, but they decided not to, for whatever reason. Yeah. But now the feds are putting it in their indictment. Kind of interesting how that works.
And that's exactly why they didn't charge him. That's exactly why they didn't charge him. See, the feds will get information and just let it build up. Like, nah, let's not hit them with this. We're going to let it build up because they know they're going to crash out. They've been watching them for a while. They already kind of know what's going on. The feds will allow shit to go down. You know what I'm saying? And then just build it up on you just to bring you down. So that's why they say when the feds come get you, they come get you. You see how he just said, for whatever reason, they dropped it. It wasn't for whatever reason. They had that on in they back pocket. Because they know if you try to play crazy when we come get you, we got several things right here that we know you can't beat. They was going to lock you up for this before. We already told them not to. That's the game they play.
So the state decides not to prosecute him, but the feds are like, let's throw this in. The murder of victim 2, a rival gang member in Chicago, Illinois, on January 27, 2022 by, among others, co-conspirators 7 and 8. So I think this is the murder of Stefan Mack. They're motivated by a promise to pay from Banks and members of Banks Gang Enterprise. Following the murder of victim 2 on or about February 2nd, the co-conspirators texted each other saying, "What's up with OTF? What do you mean they're not paying?" In response, he said, "We waiting. Defendant Banks comes here up on the 17th. On or about February 17th, Co-Conspirator 7 traveled to a location in and around Chicago where defendant Banks was recording the music video for Music Song 1 and being interviewed. Durk brought $1 million in cash to the location, which was displayed as he was being interviewed. Okay, so this is clearly the $1 million worth of game interview. And they have texts of two guys that were convicted of murdering someone saying, well, he's coming up on the 17th to pay us. That same day, he has $1 million in cash.
So you saying that the $1 million worth of game interview, when he had $1 million on the table, that was the same day he was actually gonna pay to kill us? That was so you got proof of payment on camera? Like y'all, you know what I'm saying? Then you got messages saying this is what he's doing. Hey, I mean, hell, if you don't care about going to jail, I guess it was smart. You know, if your goal was going to jail, hey, shit.
So here's the interview with the $1 million of cash right there on the table. All these guys
crazy.
got OTF shit on. This is crazy. And here's the self-snitching from Mike City AJ, one of the shooters in that murder. Co-Conspirator 7, who's Mike City AJ right here, subsequently created a social media post in which Co-Conspirator 7 displayed monetary reward from Banks. Played an excerpt of defendant Banks' music about stalking and murdering a rival as depicted in the screenshot. We'll be sliding through the blocks and they don't know we have. With cash, so I'm guessing they're going to say this is cash given to him that day of the interview. As revenge for killing King Von, the conspiracy to commit the murder and the attempted murder of Quando Rondo and Black Shear. Oh yeah, there's a whole other situation. Quando's concert was shot up at some point in 2021 by, among other things, members of Banks Enterprise.
Yeah, they were stalking Quando.
The murder of SR in LA now, the main shooting that we've talked about in all these videos at the gas station or whatever, where they were, they traveled to LA apparently through tech.
I'm gonna stop the video real quick. It's real funny how we don't see all them slide for Vine comments no more. It's real funny how all this shit going down. They got all this evidence. You see that he was sliding for Vine. He was stalking Quando. He was trying to shoot him up. His murders for hire. He was doing that. And now he the biggest crash out in the world. So we don't see all them bogus ass comments no more now that he crashed out. We don't see all these stupid ass things. Now Lil Durk the biggest dummy. You see how goofy this shit is? This shit goofy, y'all. It's goofy.
Calls, lyrics, members associates would boast and celebrate violence committed by members and associates, taunt rivals, commercializing the enterprise violence in public social media, music videos, and lyrics, recruiting other individuals to join the enterprise, intimidating and retaliating against defendant Banks and the Banks gang enterprise rivals. Remember that doctor's appointment you're supposed to go to, but you completely forgot about it and got sidetracked? Why not book it today? ZocDoc makes it easier to find the right doctor and these on individuals that he and other Banks gang enterprise wanted to kill, with money and other economic benefits, including placement in defendant Banks and OTS music videos, lucrative music opportunities, and jewelry. Do they have evidence of this, though? Like, what evidence do they have that Durk specifically is paying people through being in music videos?
They got evidence. They got evidence in them damn phones. That's the problem. That's what are we reading the same shit? They got evidence in these phones, and they're gonna go. They're gonna start. They just gonna release them. Mark my words. They're just gonna release them one by one, and it's all gonna come back to these motherfucking phones. Because these people think that you could just say and do whatever on a motherfucking device given to you by them. You don't think these shits is bugged? You don't think they can go back when the fuck they feel like it to see all your deleted messages that you thought that you can't see no more, but they still can? This shit ain't sweet, bro. This shit is not sweet. Once the feds want to subpoena their messages and they want to subpoena your carrier, and that's what the fuck that's what it is. Everybody's in bed with everybody.
Music opportunities and jewelry. Like, do they have texts or anything? Or phone calls? I remember they have wiretaps on this shit. Like, they got phone taps. They got so much shit, apparently, that we haven't seen. And people snitching, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
Banks and Wilson
How would they not?
Cooperation with law enforcement snitching would refer to witnesses and suspected government informants as snitches or rats. Oh, God. Here we go with the overt acts. This just reminds me of the YSL case, bro. Remember those days? All them overt acts. There was like hundreds of overt acts in that trial, remember? On November 7th, 2020, the day after an associate of Quando shot and killed King Von, defendant Banks texted Co-Conspirator 3, "I can't let this slide. I ain't letting shit slide. King Von dying, turning me into a different animal." Now, overt act 2. Upon the murder of King Von, defendant Banks used a code of language told co-conspirators, including defendant Wilson and co-conspirators 2.
"I can't let this slide. I ain't letting shit slide. This shit turned me to a demon or a different animal." How the fuck? Because Von went to go crash out? After when Von died, I was King Von's I felt like I was his biggest fan. Like that's all I was playing. I was like 19 around that time. We was out there tweaking, playing King. What? But Von Tweet lost his life, and now see that's what I be saying. Niggas be wanting a reason to crash. Niggas be wanting a reason like to just go. They're never gonna say, man, my man's tweaked and man, what the hell? They gonna say, man, I'm different. I'm finna go, man, shut the fuck up. You finna go throw your life away, and then you're gonna be crying in that cell when the shit come back and haunt you. Just like what's happening now. Why everybody snitching on everybody now if you turned into a different animal? If everybody's so different, we fucked up about this shit. Why everybody snitching? Like, they got evidence in the phones. They got evidence of motherfuckers talking in court. Like, what's up with that? I thought, like, it say in the paperwork, it say y'all was different animals. Tweaking.
4 and 5 that he would pay a bounty or monetary reward to anyone who took part in the killing of Quando Rondo. What is the code of language exactly, though? I don't remember if we've gotten that. Like, what are the exact words he said to them? I really can't remember if we've gotten that yet. I don't think we have. On January 21st, 2021, defendant Banks filmed and starred in an unreleased clip of music video titled Red Man, in which Durk is depicted chasing and shooting an actor who looks like Quando Rondo. And here's the music video clip of him looking at like headlines of King Von dying and then running up on an actor that's dressed like Quando Rondo was. On May 21st, defendant Banks, Grant, co-conspirator 6, and others conspired to kill Quando Rondo, resulting in multiple co-conspirators following Quando and his entourage after his concert near Blackshear, Georgia, with multiple firearms outside of a gas station. Defendant Banks and co-conspirator 4 learned that Quando was visiting California and staying at a hotel. How do they know this? Do they have texts or someone snitching that they, found conversations of them figuring out he's in LA?
I bet you they got both. I bet you they got texts. They got somebody snitching, just like I just said. I'm telling you. I want
to see the actual evidence.
All this shit is
Defendant
fake.
Banks and Grant flew from Miami to LA on a private jet so that Defendant Banks and Grant could help coordinate the murder. Defendant Banks and co-conspirator 5 asked co-conspirator 2 to travel to Southern California later that day for the purpose of murdering Quando. I guess they have texts and calls of that. August 18th, Defendant Wilson, on behalf of Banks, recruited Lindsay and Jones to travel to California for the purpose of murdering Quando and help facilitate the travel. Texting co-conspirator 3 biographical information about booking the flights. So they have texts of DD booking flights and shit for some of the shooters. On August 18th now, using the phone number 9595, Defendant Banks texted saying, "Don't book no flights under names involved with me." On the same day, they used a credit card, OTF credit card 1.
Now that, when I seen this before, and when I first heard that was actually the smartest thing he did. Hey, don't put that shit under me. Fuck you talking about. Don't put that shit under me. I don't know what the fuck you got going on. So when I first seen that, I thought like, okay, Durk playing it smart. But this is old. I know that piece of information is older.
Ending in 2039, he purchased airplane tickets for Wilson, Lindsay, Houston, and Jones, and co-conspirator 2. Co-conspirator 3 confirmed to defendant Wilson via text message that defendants Wilson, Lindsay, Jones had the same airline ticket confirmation. Defendant Wilson, Lindsay, Houston, and Jones, a co-conspirator 2, flew from Chicago to San Diego using the OTF credit card. They traveled towards LA from San Diego in a car. Defendant Grant purchased 4 black ski masks from a sporting goods store in LA County using cash.
Yep.
So dumb. So clearly,
that's on
they
video.
tracked this rental car around.
Yeah,
found
he was
out
on
he
live
went in
doing
the
that
store
stupid shit.
and probably have him on camera purchasing these masks. Like, I guarantee it. That's damning evidence. Using a credit card and
they have it. Yeah, he was on live. I remember he was on. They was talking mad shit. He was leaving the store and shit on. I remember when the shit first went down. They tweaking. It's these phones, bro. Like, I have never seen. Man, when we live in a phone society,
15 credit card
this
2,
is what you
OTF
get.
credit card 2. Defendant Grant rented a hotel room for the co-conspirators located in LA. Defendant Grant met with everyone and provided them firearms, including a firearm that had been modified to operate as a fully automatic machine gun known as a switch to kill Quando Rondo. Defendant Grant provided 2 cars for defendants Wilson, Lindsay, Houston, Grant, and Jones to track down Quando. A white BMW, a white Infiniti, with a fake license plate. I didn't know the white Infiniti was stolen. I thought they were both rental cars for some reason. Defendant Wilson, Lindsay,
strikers.
Houston, Grant, and Jones traveled in the BMW and the Infiniti to a downtown LA hotel. Grant met in person with Defendant Banks to give Defendant Banks an update about their efforts to track and kill Quando. This is crazy. So they have evidence of this somehow. I want to know how they have this. The next day, using the BMW and Infiniti, Defendant Wilson, Lindsay, Houston, Grant, and Jones, and co-conspirator 2 traveled to downtown LA hotel where Quando was staying. They tracked his black Escalade to a marijuana dispensary on Flower Street in LA. And here's the pictures we've seen of the 2 white cars tracking Quando in this car. Defendant Houston drove the Infiniti to an alley behind the Beverly gas station, parked the vehicle so that defendant Lindsay and Jones and co-conspirator 2 could attempt to murder Quando. At the gas station, Lindsay, Jones, and co-conspirator 2 exited the Slider Infiniti and used the firearms. They killed SR, who was standing outside of Quando Rondo's car. They hopped back in the Infiniti and fled. The same day, they dipped from San Diego. They purchased more flights back to Chicago. All right, the next day after the murder now, co-conspirator 3 sent defendant Banks' social media post with an individual mocking Quando's reaction to seeing his body, which was broadcast in viral news coverage on the day of SR's murder.
Sheriff's deputies pulling out a man who had been shot in an SUV. Savannah rapper Quando Rondo, a
Hey, y'all, this isn't funny. Like, all jokes put to the side. You know what I'm saying? This isn't funny. And I'm a Lil Durk fan. Hell, I'm from Chicago. This isn't funny on everything. This ain't cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody lost their life that day. I understand the cousin, he was talking some shit online and shit, but he lost his life for what? This ain't cool. This shit needs to stop.
Passenger in that car, frantic at the site. It all started at this mobile gas station at 5:30 Friday evening. LAPD says witnesses heard multiple gunshots, then watched a couple cars zoom off. 3 people in one car shot at this black Cadillac Escalade. It's unclear if those inside shot back.
The next day, the same co-conspirator 3 sent defendant Banks' social media post about the LA shooting and SR's murder. So they have evidence of these guys communicating about this murder the next day, pretty much. Not admitting their involvement, I don't think. But, you know, posts and shit, trolling. Defendant Grant traveled to a Verizon wireless store located in Woodland Hills to purchase a new burner cell phone, including cell number 3853. Wait, what? Oh, no. Defendant Banks stopped using 9595 number that he used to communicate with everyone and began using 3853. Okay.
See, and that's what I was saying beginning of the video. That's because I assume that's what they was talking about because based off the title. I don't know if that. If see, I'm making the same face he's making. It's like if that's the case, if he got a new phone to separate himself, we gotta get into
that. That's pretty bad. That's pretty damning. Once you get rid of phones and phone numbers after something like this, like I've always found it to be the biggest red flag.
But at the same time, that doesn't mean just because you get a new phone number, that does not mean that you you're part of something. Even though we know we on that bullshit. And I'm talking about in the court, in the case of law, that doesn't necessarily mean that. So, y'all let me know how you feel about that. Did he get a new phone because he was trying to get away from the murder and he wasn't trying to get, locked up? Or did he get a new phone because he I just got a new phone? You know what I'm saying? I feel like he probably got a new phone to probably get away from the situation. But we got evidence saying don't put nothing in my name. And he gets a new phone to just kind of get away from the situation. We don't know.
You're clearly like a little paranoid about being caught, and he's like, let me switch my phone up. All right, so a year later, July 2023, defendant Banks sent a text to everyone, including Wilson, stating D-Ski beat his murder, he gonna be more dangerous. So D-Ski is OTF-DD, I believe, and he was arrested in 2014 for a murder which he was acquitted back in Chicago. I didn't even know he got arrested for that in 2014. Durk sent another text stating that a suspected government informant and co-conspirator was just ready to snitch, blood clear as day. He gonna tell soon. The same day, the same group text message thread, Overdeck 34 defendant Wilson responded, he think he can break us down. Same group text, same day. Co-conspirator replied, beware of everybody, not just the suspected government informant. In the same group text, defendant Banks reassured everyone, stating, as long as we don't break, they can tell him whatever. In response to text message from defendant Wilson stating, N-words out there already playing with folks' name. Defendant Banks referenced the Banks Gang Enterprise violence, stating, crazy blood N-words don't slide or hurt. Motherfuckers leaving it all up to us. This is all terrible. So that's the new Super Shit indictment that I haven't read yet.
Niggas didn't want to slide and do shit because niggas is tired of this shit. Niggas is really like, man, fuck this shit. They're leaving it all up to us. They basically telling you, nigga, you go crash out. And you getting shitty about it, so shit. Go crash out, nigga. I would've told your ass the same shit. Man, I'm not doing this shit, bro. That's what they saying. These niggas don't want to slide. These niggas... That niggas be trying to make you sound lame as hell for just saying no. For being a man. For being your own man, niggas try to make you sound lame as hell. Man, hell no. I ain't doing that shit. That shit dumb. If a nigga say that shit once he... That's not real no more. That's not real no more to be like, hell nah. You see how they talking about the niggas that ain't trying to do that shit? They, man, them goofy ass niggas. Ooh, folks ass, they ain't really for folks. Ooh. And we finna go do this. Well, now y'all facing life, G. So shit, if that was worth it, just why is the snitching coming a part of the play? Why are people snitching now in court? Why we got evidence people snitching trying to get home and trying to be free? I thought that's what you wanted to do. I bet the niggas that said no ain't so goofy no more. I bet the niggas that said, man, I ain't gonna go do that shit, they at home watching the trial, finna watch my reaction video and be like, damn. That's how this shit go. So don't let nobody tell you that you a motherfucking goofy because you said no to some bullshit. You know how many times my motherfucking homies, when I was leaving this shit alone, called me goofy, called me fucking scary. I'm alive. I'm free. I get an opportunity to one day hopefully blow up on here on YouTube or I got so much other shit going on in my life and all that shit could have came to a wrap. I got a lot of friends that called me goofy that ain't here no more. Some in jail. A lot in jail. So don't this just goes to show you the niggas that's trying to slide and do the most. Nobody screaming slide for Vaughn no more. Nobody screaming slide for Vaughn. It don't even make sense to say that no more. Anybody that say that, they damn near feel retarded. Because it's like, yeah, because truth be told, Vaughn crashed out. And we got to stop. We have to stop saying that the crash out, the person who crashed out, we got to stop throwing our life away because they crashed out. We got to stop that mentality. It was bogus. But y'all let me know in the comments, did Lil Durk get a new phone because he was just getting a new phone, or was he trying to be on some slick shit with the case? You know what I'm saying? Let me know your other opinions with this. This is kind of a sad situation. You know, I love Lil Durk. I love his music. But it is what it is. Till next time, thank you for tuning in.